What a beautiful bouquet indeed. And we don't even have all of our members and friends present today. Our community spreads far throughout the valley and perhaps even farther away now that we've been operating online for over a year. But we gather together to share in a common story, a story about radically welcoming, liberal, diverse people coming together, though our understanding of faith can be completely different, to create community and sacred space together. One common story, yet many different perspectives. It's much like the current day turn of phrase, we may all be in the same storm, but we are in different boats. We may all be part of one community, but we have different stories, different ideas of what is important to have, what is important to do, what is important to contribute. We have stories that help us know who we are, how we relate to each other, and what we mean to each other and why. Of all of the ways we might think of this as what binds people in relationship, but shared story may be one of the most important ways. This week, like Sheldon talked about, a special e-news came out on Thursday evening, which is offering everyone to share their story of this community. Kelowna Unitarians Leadership Council, which is a gathering of the board members and all committee members, have been meeting since last August. And at their April meeting, we created a mandate for a task force to explore and identify how our Kelowna Unitarians community envisions our church as we become the next vision of our community. Allie, Sarah, Judith, and I formed the visioning task. Please take time to read through our plan and submit one or two or several different versions of our story. We have a history, the story of Kelowna Unitarians so far. We can reflect and identify what has changed, what have we lost, what assumptions we had, and how we want to emerge from this time together. Together, we'll craft the next chapter in our Kelowna Unitarian story. Not a single story, but a story that is capable of connecting and supporting the vision of everyone here. A story that is capable of holding together all of our myriad different individuals, our different groups, our different committees, and our different families. Just as a bouquet of flowers from all of our homes is going to look different, and we can all look different as we have our screens spotlit, the story that we tell about our faith community is going to look different as well from all of our perspectives. One person is going to speak about the importance of journey groups. Another will talk about social justice work that helps them connect to the wider world. Someone else is going to speak about how important it is to have a place where they could raise their children with values that matched their own and how they wanted to live in the world. Someone will speak about how necessary it is to gather with others and to sing together. Much like our picture book this morning, we will never get the whole picture of an event or a place unless we are able to see it from many different perspectives. And we give room for the many different voices. All of our stories are going to be different, and all of them are going to reflect who we are and how we hope the world will see us. Our story will be incomplete until we have everyone's vision of who we are together. It is important for all of our stories to be shared, so that we can express a more fulsome version of ourselves to the world, a more fulsome Kelowna Unitarians, a balance of stories like Chimamanda Adichie talked about in her TED Talk. Stories matter. Many stories matter. Let us take the opportunity to build something, create the possibility of a community that we seek. Because there is one more outlook, one more point of view that is missing from this great expanse. We spoke at our first visioning task force meeting about recognizing that even though we may receive 60 or 70 different stories about our community, even though, even though we might receive different dreams about our possibilities and about our goals and plans for the future, there will likely be something missing. You see, we are a mostly homogenous group. Although we have stated that we welcome everybody into our community currently only has a very small sliver of the diversity of humankind. So the task force recognizes that we might only receive visions of a small sliver of all that is possible. Adichie spoke to this conundrum when she started to write books as a 7-year-old. Earlier in her talk, she said, "I wrote exactly the kind of stories that I had been reading. All of my characters were white and blue-eyed. They played in the snow. They ate apples. And they talked a lot about the weather, how lovely it was that the sun had come out. Now, this, despite the fact that I lived in Nigeria, had never been outside Nigeria. We didn't have snow. We ate mangoes. And we never talked about the weather because there was no need to. This is why we stated that during our analysis process, we were going to examine our vision for things that might be missing, because we need to be careful of the danger of a single story. As we look across our screen, scrolling through the little pictures of everyone who has gathered here, know that our community needs the diversity that you witness. It is not whole without the diversity that you see here. None of us have a single story of Kelowna Unitarians, not one person. We are all necessary for creating it together. Like the constellation in the sky, the shift and change through time, our community will be different. It will grow and shrink, shift to one end of the spectrum and then back. But a single story, we can never let it be. I hope that you join me in discovering our new chapter. Thank you.